let's hang out for a little bit while I do my skincare and makeup for the day. It's been ages since I've given you guys like a bit of a life update, so I thought we can just spend some time together. You can put this on in the background while you're doing some housework or something, unless you're like really engaged and you want to watch my face the entire time. But I'm going to try and do like minimal edits as well, so it could be a long one. Starters, I've just got these eye masks on. These are from Sports Girl. Usually I use other ones, but today I just wanted something really easy, and I usually chuck these on while I'm on the treadmill, so yeah, they're really fun. All right, before I start yapping away, next I'm gonna go in with the Ordinary Multi-Active Delivery Essence, and then I'm gonna quickly spray my face with this La Roche-Posay thermal spring water in the can. This stuff you have to apply to damp skin, so it's just really convenient having one of these like bougie spray cans of water. I do really like this one. It's quite nice. But the Evian one is really good as well. All right, life update. Let's dive into it. I feel like so much has freaking happened in the last 3, 4, 5 months. I really can't remember how long it's been since I last checked in with you guys, but yeah, I guess there's a few things that I want to talk about. There's a few things that like I really want to talk about, but probably shouldn't talk about and should probably save for a therapist. So yes, like I said, minimal edits for this video, but there might be some things that I end up chopping out. So basically, I have been pretty burnt out. And I saw a pose checked out from social media for a little bit, and burnt out in life and just, I don't know, burnt out in everything. This year, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, it's been a really good year, but I have just been like so exhausted. At the start of the year, I got a job at Priceline. I didn't apply for anything. They pretty much just offered it to me, and I thought it would be a really good opportunity for me to try something new, because obviously I've worked at Sports Girl for a million years, and so that is just easy, comfortable for me. It's really flexible with social media, etc. So I thought, do you know what, trying something new probably wouldn't hurt. And yeah, got hired at the start of the year at Priceline, just casual, couple of days a week, all good. And then I was helping out for a little bit while they were replacing a team member that had left, and I was working there like pretty much 38 hours a week, and then on my off days I was at Sports Girl, and then the other days I was trying to like film content, and I was just like running on not even adrenaline. I don't know what it was. I was like on my last leg, and it was so exhausting. And I guess like I'm a bit of a yes man, and I like to work hard and get jobs done, and I think I just overexerted myself. And yeah, by the time I got home, just even the thought of filming a video, my brain would just shut down straight away. I think as well for me, like it's really important that my content that I film is like of a higher quality. I never really participate in trends that much, if ever, honestly, because that's just not what my content is about. I guess I do consider myself to be an influencer, but I like to put a bit more thought behind the products that I tell you guys about and recommend. And, you know, I really like to go into depth about why I use the products, what I do or don't like about it. And I guess, I don't know, I find that when I'm filming a video, say for example, like my recommendations, it can turn into like a 20-minute video that I've filmed, but then after editing, researching for the caption, because I like to go through and get all the brand names, prices, you know, measurements, volumes of each item, and I don't know, just sort of put a little bit more thought and care into my content. I can just find that, yeah, after I've finished that 20-minute video, it can take me like 2 hours, nearly 3 hours sometimes to edit it so that it's fast, responsive, engaging, while still being informative, etc. And yeah, it really can be a lot in the long term. I'm just going in with my ordinary glycolic acid toner. This is just a really good sort of liquid exfoliant. I'm trying to shrink my pores a little bit. So yeah, really been enjoying this stuff. All that to say is that, yes, I obviously try to put a lot of effort into my content rather than just like quick, easy videos, which maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but you know, I've got 4 platforms that I post across now. So that's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Sorry, I don't know if I mentioned that. So I'm trying to hit as wide an audience as I possibly can, while also really just focusing on my existing audience, which maybe isn't the best for growth, but I'm not out here trying to be the biggest influencer in Australia, or the most popular or anything like that, because that's not really important to me. Maybe once upon a time it was, but that's just kind of not what I'm aiming for as a creator for now. I think for me, it's really important that my content has longevity over the long term, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so I don't know, filming content sometimes can just be a bit overwhelming. And like I said, I was working literally 7 days a week, and it got so much that I eventually had to quit Priceline. So I just left a few weeks ago, and it's been good. Like, you know, there were aspects to the role that I really enjoyed. Like, it was good for learning about new products coming out, skincare, makeup and all that sort of stuff. I had some really, really amazing customers, but there were also some negatives to the role that just weighed up amongst everything. And with how exhausted and burnt out I was like, I just don't love this job enough to justify keeping it. So yes, I resigned from there, which is great. It freed up some time, I suppose, during my weeks. But like I said, I've been so exhausted that literally, like, no matter how much sleep I get, no matter how much rest I was getting, I was waking up and I was just a shell of myself, if that makes sense. And the last time that I felt like that was just when, you know, COVID hit back in 2020, and it was like the lowest that I had ever been mentally, and that's how I was starting to feel. It was really, really a horrible feeling, and it kind of scared me a little bit, to be honest. I'm starting to feel a little bit better now, which is really, really good. And like I said, Sports Girl, I've been there for so long that it's just really comfortable. They're flexible with my social media and stuff like that, and I kind of just go where I'm needed, which is really, really handy. So anyway, and that's another thing as well. Like, if you are an influencer and you don't work, then you're out of touch. But then if you're an influencer and you do work, then it's like, oh, well, don't you make enough money from it? And then it's also that thing of like, well, yes, I'm at work and I can't have my phone on me, so I'm like missing certain things, or, you know, it's just, there is just so much to it. And I would just be on my phone 24/7. Like, I don't get a break sometimes. And sort of working at Sports Girl is my little escape, and keeps me like grounded and interacting with my followers and, you know, my community. And yeah, I don't know. All that to say is that I just feel like a bit of a tug of war sometimes between, like, I guess what my traditional career is, and then this social media career, which, yes, financially is very good for me. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. But a lot of people don't take into account like taxes and, you know, agency fees and stuff like that. So I've never made so much money before, but also never been taxed as much before. So I got taxed like a full salaried income over the last financial year. It's, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you do social media and you don't work, you're out of touch. And then if you do social media and still keep this, people like, you know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I forgot to show just then, I went in with the L'Oreal Bright Reveal Dark Spot Serum. So that's really good for any like pigmentation or anything like that. So yes, I guess work-wise, energy-wise and social media-wise, that's kind of why I've been a bit clocked out recently. and I feel so guilty at times because I just don't want to show up on social media not as myself, because I think that energy sort of like translates through the camera. There's already enough like negativity and weirdness on the internet at the moment. Put a pin in that because I'll come back to that in a sec. I really always just try to keep things like positive and uplifting and you know, that sort of beacon of hope or ray of light for my followers in a world that they might not get to have that often, so they can come online and sort of escape with me for a little bit. So I guess that's my approach to filming content, and just making sure that, you know, the stuff that I'm putting out is valuable and has a purpose. So it may mean like less uploads, but I think in my mind, like more quality content, because again, I'm going for that longevity over time. Now that that has settled into the skin for a little bit, I'm going to go in with a couple of products. I've just run out of my hyaluronic acid, so I need to go buy a new one. But I'm going to mix a bit of this Innisfree green tea, hyaluronic acid cream, a bit of the L'Oreal Men Expert Hydra Energetic anti-fatigue moisturizer, with a little bit of this Catrice Cosmetics Sensational Primer. I mentioned this in my haul that I recently did, that when I applied it directly to the skin, like, yes, I think it's like the warm caramel shade, this one. So it's obviously like quite bronze, but when I tried it in store, it just looked like a really healthy glow, like a L'Oreal Glotion kind of vibe. And then when I put it on my skin, I was like, whoa, okay, so I think I'm gonna try mixing this in with here, and I guess we'll just see what the result is. Could be interesting. So what else has been going on? I was seeing someone for a little while there as well, which was nice. I have been single for about 10 years now. And what year is it? 2015? Yeah, 10 years. I don't know, had kind of just convinced myself that I wasn't lovable, wasn't deserving of like meeting anyone, etc., etc., which makes me really sad to think about now, like all those years wasted, when I should have just been like loving myself, but that's okay. So yes, anyway, had started seeing someone this year. So that's how much I'm gonna mix in together. Out of the blue, it was spontaneous. It just didn't work out, and that is so totally fine. But again, I was trying to juggle like 3 jobs pretty much, investing my time into another person when I've just spent the last 10 years sort of just living my life by myself, and for me, with, you know, without having to sort of share any of that energy with someone else. So I think I also struggled with that, but it was nice. Like, it was a nice feeling, and all well and good. And then after I ended up, I don't know, I was just thinking, I'm like, okay, is this actually like what I have wanted my entire life, or was being in a relationship just something that, I don't know, I had convinced myself that I wanted? I don't know, does that make sense? Like, I kind of had to think, I'm like, I don't know if I actually do want to be in a relationship. Maybe it's not for me. And I don't know, that made me feel a little bit weird as well. And then I'm having my little therapy session with ChatGPT, and it's like, no, this is fine. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you. It was just like, walked me off a ledge. It just made me sort of like think about things differently. So I don't know, that's something I'm going to have to work out in time, because I obviously like my alone time and space, but it was a nice feeling. And yeah, hopefully it's just made me be more comfortable with letting down my walls if I meet someone again. Do you know what I mean? So that was the Catrice mixed in with the moisturizer. On the monitor, it's looking good, quite nice and healthy, which is nice. So I think that's maybe what I'm gonna have to do from now on, just to get that glow. Now that that is done, I might just quickly do a layer of lip balm, because my lips are very, very crusty. I'm just gonna use the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast lip balm here. I feel like I've lived 50,000 different lives this year. My dog Honey has been very, very ill, at the moment. I really try to keep her private and off my socials. Same with my family. Like I try to keep a lot private in my life just because the internet can be a bit weird sometimes. Yeah, she's been very, very sick at the moment with a neurological disease. We're still in the early stages of figuring out what exactly it means. But yeah, she was in hospital for a week, had to have an MRI done, which is insane. It cost $10,000. So, that was money that I'd saved, luckily, from social media and stuff. But, that's 10 grand. So financially, that was shit. Like, I wanted to use that money for something else, but that's okay. So that's just been like a bit of a scary experience. Just removing any of that excess glow, by the way. The next follow-up is in a couple of weeks, so I guess we'll go from there and we'll work out, a bit of a game plan. But so yes, that has been draining to the system. Now that my skincare is done, I'm just gonna go in with the Maybelline Poreless Jelly Hydrating Primer. I really didn't think that I was gonna love this, but it's nice. It just comes out like not a silicone, but yeah, maybe like a silicone, but not. It looks like that. And I just find that it soaks into the skin really, really nice. It's not like ultimate blur, pore erasing sort of vibes, but it does a good job. And it sits well under makeup as well. So yes, there's just been a lot going on in my life at the moment, and it's been just full on, and I don't know. I'm just kind of get home from work and I've just got so many messages and things on my mind, and my brain shuts down. I just feel so stretched thin sometimes, and it's totally first world problems. But I care a lot about my community and, my loved ones, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like I let people down a lot, and I hate that, but I'm also letting myself down, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I just thought I had healed that part of my life, but I obviously still have some work to do on that. But again, I think it's just because I've been so exhausted that I sort of just lost my vision that I guess I had sort of at the end of last year, at the start of this year, for what my year was going to be. So yeah, I don't know. That's just where I'm at with that mentally. By the way, I'm burning this Nude Lucy candle at the moment, and I freaking love it. It's their signature scent. They've got like a reed diffuser and a room spray. I've also got the room spray on my desk, and it's so nice. This has notes of citrus and oak. It is really, really nice. I'm desperately trying to get my hands on the reed diffuser, but they're always bloody sold out. So there you go. There's a fragrance recommendation for you. All that to say, I've just had like a really full-on year, and it's just been very, very exhausting. And yeah, it's good now that I've got some time back that I can sort of try and rest and get back to normal, and I'm feeling a little bit better each and every single day. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I put a lot of pressure on myself, and in a way I'm just like, but I have to. But then in a way I'm always like very hard on myself. So now I'm just going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Been using this stuff for years. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot that I want to do, but just mentally I haven't had the space to, or whatever, to figure out my life. And I hate it. Like, I feel stuck. I don't feel like myself. Again, half is self-inflicted, and then half is just circumstances that are out of my control. And yeah, I've just been a bit burnt out, and it's sad because I never wanted to feel like this ever again. I don't know. It's just like a little bit, not to use the word, but triggering when you've been in that mental state before and you sort of know how it had affected your life, and you can feel that again. It's just, I don't know, I just get a bit scared sometimes, but it's all good. I'm a grown adult and I can handle it. And my life is very, very good compared to some of the people out there in the world. I'm just gonna quickly dry this off with my fan. So I don't know, I guess I just wanted to like actually properly sit down and openly speak with you guys for a little bit about what's been going on and where I've been and sort of why I haven't been posting. And you know, like I said, it's a mix of just life circumstances, mental circumstances, you know, really wanting to do more quality videos for my social medias, and be more informative about the products and selective with the products rather than like reviewing every single freaking thing. And, you know, I like to do food reviews as well, which is great. But then I also, you know, I'm trying to be a bit healthier. Like I'm in my mid-30s now and like my body just is changing, we'll say that. So I'm trying to be a bit healthier, so I can't always do that. And you know, my taste with makeup and skincare and stuff change as well. And so I'm not always wanting to push like the latest product and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know, I'm just in a bit of a tug of a war. Why do I keep saying that? Tug of war situation at the moment. I don't know, crossroads, identity crisis, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully you guys understand, and I just don't want to let you down, or myself down, but I don't know, just struggle a little bit sometimes and feel like I'm not allowed to, if that makes sense, because I really understand like how lucky I am. And it's not to say that I haven't worked hard to get where I am, because I have, and people don't realize that a lot, is that I have worked my ass off since I was 18. The ones who know me in real life know and understand how hard I freaking worked over the years. And, you know, I've been doing social media for 4 years now. And I guess financially it's only started to really be like an actual full-time salaried income in the past year. So, you know, it's not overnight success, but I don't want that. I don't want to be like the world's biggest influencer. I don't want that. Yeah, like I said, maybe back in the past I did want that, but I don't want that now. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's probably not smart business on my end, but like I said, I'm trying to connect more with you guys authentically and honestly. Okay, so I'm just going to finish off with some powder and a spray just to bring some life back into the skin. So let's do that. At the moment, I'm just using this Sports Girl Get Set Loose Setting Powder in Deep. It's discontinued, and it's not like the darkest shade. It looks dark in the packaging, but it's, pardon me, not when it's on the skin. And I like this stuff because you can use like a chunk of it and it doesn't build up too much, and it doesn't oxidize either, which is nice. All right, I'm just gonna start on the forehead. Whew. That is probably gonna look funny on camera. All right, so just got that on. If you guys have any more, I guess, sort of like questions, or you want to know anything else about my life or anything like that, like please ask away in the comments section. I might even do like an Instagram story and just ask you guys directly on there if you've got any questions. Oh, that's right, before I forget. Okay, so obviously I have had a lot going on this year, and then especially with honey, like recently, like it's just been full on, right? And I've had an ad go live, well, a couple of ads being boosted on social media at the moment, which is great. Like that's where a lot of the brands will pay the most money for, is to boost your content out. But unfortunately, when your content gets boosted out, it gets boosted out to a lot of people who would never be interested in your content. And so the amount of trolling and hate that I've been waking up to every single day is like next level, like probably the most that I've ever received in my life ever, especially as a content creator. And like if this had happened back in the day when I was first starting out, like it actually would have probably destroyed me. The stuff that they're saying in the comments section is like disgusting. It's next level, like really, really bad. And it's just a pile on. And, you know, like I said, it doesn't, like it genuinely 98% of the time does not affect me like whatsoever. But heaven forbid I'm having a bad day, or I was crying at the vet thinking that I was about to say goodbye to honey for the last time ever. You know, and then on Instagram and TikTok, I'm getting called, you know, all sorts of things and telling me to, you know, die or myself. Like, it's been relentless every single day. You know, people always say, just ignore it, which is all well and good until it happens to you. And, you know, if there's any other content creators out there who've dealt with hate like that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an easy target, but I see some people's comment sections and they never get the amount of hate that I do. So I don't know if it's because I'm bold or because I'm gay, or they have like some idea in their mind of who I am or what I believe in and all that sort of stuff. But it's full on, and it just does get to me sometimes, which would hate for them to know that. But, you know, it is what it is, and it's not nice or easy. But again, it doesn't affect me a whole lot of the time. It's just those times when, like, yep, I've actually got serious shit going on, and having to read this every single day, because to read the positive comments, I have to read all those negative ones, you know? Like, it's just tough, and then it makes me feel even more disconnected and just feel like, yeah, I don't know, a bit overexposed, then I want to take a little bit of a break from that as well. And anyway, that is my spiel on that. I'm just going to bring some life back in with this Catrice Cosmetics hyaluronic face mist. I really like this stuff, actually. It's very nice. The mister is really quite good. Woo! And that is just to bring a little bit of that glow back, but again, that powder's under there as a base, which is great. And so it'll just keep me, you know, that middle ground glow. So there we go. That was my little sit down chit chat with me. I'm looking at the timer on there and it's like over 30 minutes, which is crazy. So I may have to edit some of this out, or I'll do an unedited version on my YouTube, I think. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. If you stayed for the whole thing, thank you so much. If you clicked off halfway through, you wouldn't be here, but I'm not going to hold it against you. And yeah, like I said, if you've got any questions or any content that you want to see from me, just let me know in the comments section. And thank you so much for being here and supporting me. You guys have got me through some of my darkest days. You would not believe it. But I really do mean it. And yeah, thank you for supporting my channel and my content, and, you know, the quality content that I really try to put out there for you guys, and hopefully it's informative and helpful, and that's all I can really hope for. So yeah, all right, I better finish this coffee and hang my washing out. I heard my washing machine going off, and yeah, I guess I will see you in my next video. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.